Hey guys, aloha and welcome to another awesome workout. I call this workout Total Body Attack, and I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how this workout goes and then show you the exercises that you'll be doing in this workout. So it's a combination of body weight plus some external resistance training in this workout designed to focus on pretty much every major muscle group in your body. So what you'll need is some dumbbells if you have them, or if you don't, if you can find some other form of resistance, whether that's some sort of household object or something that is as challenging as possible. And you may need to do a little bit of trying to see what weights will work for the exercises that I'm about to explain to you, but try that out, and it definitely is something you'll want to have some resistance for. So what I'm going to show you is a pair of exercises that you'll be doing, and you'll do that pair all, in this case, 3 sets of each of the exercises alternating before you move on to the next pair of exercises. Now you want to minimize the rest periods that you have in between each set of each exercise and each pairing of each exercise as much as possible to get the maximum effect out of this workout. And of course, it goes without saying always to really push yourself. So let's dive into it right now. Okay, so this first exercise I like to call the squat and press. Sometimes people will call this thrusters, but basically you're going to take your resistance. Starting point is holding the resistance at your shoulders at that height. Squat all the way down. Try to touch your elbows to your knees if possible. That's the depth you want to get on your squat. And then at the very top of your squat is when you're going to push that weight directly over your head. You'll see on the side view here that you want to keep your back straight, and you can see a little bit better here where I'm going to touch my elbows to my knees. And in doing that, again, you're going to get that proper depth. And also on the way down, you can see here that the weight that's being kept there at my shoulders all the way down and then back up in the squat portion is really a good challenge on the shoulders, in addition, of course, to the overhead press part. So from here, we're going to what I like to call the plank hip swivel. So you're going to get in a forearm plank position, but instead of just holding it, while your feet are together behind you, you're going to swivel your hips to each side, coming as close as you can to touching the ground. So obviously, hopefully what this does is, in addition to just generally getting your core like a normal plank would do, your hips coming close to the ground is also going to create some added resistance and challenge to your obliques, that portion of your core muscles that are out to the sides of your abdomen. Now this is also going to challenge your shoulders. Try to keep your shoulders shrugged downwards, if that makes sense, pushing down through the ground, keeping that shoulder orientation throughout the entire movement. Okay, so now we are moving into the second pair of exercises, starting with the sprinter lunge. And this exercise was added here as a means of addressing a popular request to target the glutes or the butt muscle. And we're doing this through an extreme bending at the hip joint. You can see here how I'm bending over my leg with my torso, and what that does is it really opens up the hip, targets the glutes, and forces those to contract as you push your way upward. So what you're doing is reaching down, touching the ground with both fingertips on both hands, both sets of fingertips, reaching backwards with your back leg, although not too far back, and using primarily the front leg to drive yourself upward, again, focusing on using that glute muscle to push yourself upwards. Now you want to do one leg first completely so that you can get some good fatigue going there and focus on that leg, and then switch to do the other leg. You can see here on this front view that my front knee, the knee of my front leg, is in line with my foot and ankle. I'm balanced. My back leg again is not pushing up, it's just put back there for balance. And I'm keeping my torso as straight and erect as possible while reaching forward, leaning that torso over my front leg. If you want, you can put some resistance in your hands, although for most people this exercise is plenty challenging at first with just body weight, but really go slow and controlled, again focusing on the glutes pushing upward. Now the next exercise is just some good old-fashioned push-ups. You're going to do do these for 15 reps, and if you can, do as many of them as you can in the full push-up position that you see me doing here. Now if you can't do them, there is the option to do a modification by putting your knees down on the ground like you'll see me doing right here. Although I'd rather you do the full version of a push-up, even if it means you only get a portion of the range of motion, because the full range is going to engage your core a whole heck of a lot more than when you put your knees down. So try to do it that way. Another thing you can do is maybe put your hands on something elevated like a bench or a table. Okay, on to exercise pair number 3. So this is the side to side shuffle. It's a new favorite I've been doing lately. What you're gonna be doing is shuffling, which I'll show you in a second, but at the end of each shuffle, you're touching the ground and your outside foot like that, back and forth. Now you can see it. So each time I reach down, I'm reaching across, which is really getting my obliques and lower back involved in addition to my legs, and I'm touching the ground and my opposite foot there with fingertips of each hand. Try to be explosive as you come up in the middle. Try to come all the way up in a vertical stance with your torso nice and erect, and be as quick and explosive as you can be here. Next exercise is the bent forward rear fly. So this is where you'll need some of that resistance, and it's a really awesome exercise, not only for your back, like you can see here, but because of the positioning you see here, you're also targeting your core through your lower back, your glutes, your thighs, your hamstrings, quads especially. There's a whole lot going on here that's going to be a lot more efficient in helping you burn calories, in addition to obviously targeting the movement caused by the rear fly in your upper back muscles. Okay, on to the 4th and final pair of exercises. First, we have the bicep curl, and I'm doing these again with dumbbells. You can use some kind of resistance. I am not just doing curls though. As you can see, I'm kind of crouched forward. There's a little bit of bend in my knees. I'm trying to get a little bit more activation in other muscle groups in my body, my legs, my hips, my back, just to make sure that I'm burning even a little bit more in terms of calories than I normally would just doing the bicep curl. So here I'm turning my hands inward as I pull upward on that bicep curl. You can do the hammer curl as well, which is where you don't turn the wrists. Just pull the weight straight up. In other words, your thumbs are coming straight up towards your shoulders. And then the last exercise is what I call the legs extended crunch. Made really, really hard by virtue of the fact that you have those legs extended first, which is already creating some tension in your core. And then against that initial tension, you're also doing a crunch, pointing your hands straight up to the sky. You saw me a second ago move my legs out, now I move them, or move them in, now I move them back out. You can play around with the leg positioning to make it as doable yet challenging as possible as you can for yourself to get the most out of that exercise. Okay guys, so that's the workout. Enjoy it. Let me know if you have any questions. It should target, like I said earlier, every single muscle group in your body pretty much. And if you minimize those rest periods, you're really going to get a lot out of this. A lot of calorie burn, a lot of lung burn, and it'll do a lot of great for your body. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the next workout, and train hard. Aloha.